Welcome back to my Bi Life. So I'm Katie, and hopefully you just watched video number 1. If you haven't, go ahead and do that now. And if you have, then sit back, relax, get some popcorn, maybe turn on a light, get ready for some craziness. I'll make this as brief as I possibly can. But when I try to explain where my illness started, it gets a little wild. When I was 12, I started cycling, rapid cycling. What that is a form of bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder 1, which is the big swing, the big emotional swing. Big high manic episode, big low depressive episode. Big high manic episode, big low depressive episode. Those two things within 24 hours. A person with bipolar 1 disorder, such as Carrie Fisher, Richard Dreyfuss, Stephen Fry, Britney Spears, Demi Lovato. There's a few more that have bipolar 1. But big, major mood swings that last months to years. Well, rapid cycling is exactly what it sounds like. Rapid cycling / rapid relapse. Again, it's classified in the DSM-5 now as rapid relapse, which I think is a poor name, but whatever. Rapid cycling is when you have a big high manic episode and a big major depressive episode at the same 24-hour cycle. So within 24 hours, you go from one to the other and back to the first one. And that's what I started doing when I was pubescent age. Without going into too much detail, too much TMI, I was menstruating and my mother thought that it was some kind of hormonal imbalance. This is partially true because a majority of people with mental illnesses, it will come about when they hit puberty and hormones kick into gear. It messes with the system in the brain. It messes with the hormones and the chemicals in the brain to begin with. So if there's a disposition for mental illness, usually it's hereditary, usually a member of the family, most of the time the mother's family because XY. Chromosomes, hello. Most of the time it's carried on from the mother's family, which mine is. There's 3 generations that have bipolar disorder and whom are also alcoholics. Fun! When I was 12, my mother took me to an OBGYN because I was doing up, down, 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 up, down. Every 5 minutes, I would be skyrocketing and then I would be on the floor crying. And I remember doing this, and I remember my mother being on the phone with our neighbor who was a certified nurse. And my neighbor was trying to explain to my mother that it could be a number of different things. First of which probably is a hormonal imbalance. So I was prescribed an SSRI, a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which what it does, if I had some video editing software that I could put some kind of cartoon into, I would make a cartoon, but I can't, so I'm going to do it the best that I can. This is an axon. They're firing away at each other. The chemical that they're firing to, one is firing, one is picking it up. The chemical that is being fired is serotonin. Those are the happy chemicals. They make you happy. They make you want to do things. They make you want to be active. Sometimes they make you want to be very sexual. Sometimes they make you want to just go and be in life. They make you laugh uncontrollably. They make you feel good. They're the feel-good chemicals. Unfortunately, for me, because of the disorder that I have, too much serotonin in my brain will make me delusional. And that's exactly what happened. I started thinking that I was a character in a TV show. I actually thought I was a character in a TV show. I actually thought that my mother was someone else. It was bad. And I started abusing the medication. Abusing meaning not taking it for a day and then waiting a couple of days and then taking 2, maybe taking 2 and then waiting a couple days and then not and taking half a pill. You know, wait a week, take 1, wait a couple of days, take 3. It was no schedule whatsoever. I was abusing it beyond. and that just messed with my brain even more. So within a year, I had a nervous breakdown at 13 because of the medication and because of the fact that I was abusing the medication. Now, I don't think that it was my mother's intention that I was put on the wrong medication. I think she was genuinely trying to make me better, but unfortunately, my manifestation of my illness was not picked up. It was not recognized because for an OBGYN who's not versed in mental illnesses, or most mental illnesses, if they are, usually it's postpartum, baby blues, severe depression, it would have been difficult for an OBGYN to hear the description that my mother was giving, see me in a certain state, and know what it was that I was dealing with. So she did the best that she thought that she could do for me in trying to help my depression. And it does wonders. An SSRI, when used properly, does wonders for people. It just didn't do the right thing for me. The exact opposite of what I needed. So a year later, I had a major breakdown. But I knew that I was not on the right medication, and so I tried to fix it myself. I tried to fix this thing that was going on inside my brain myself. And unfortunately, I did that in a very, very bad way. Even what's worse is I was on the medication until I was 18. I was on this medication along with 2 others that had to do with allergies. Again, I've tried every allergy medication on the planet. Does not help. So I was on that and birth control and something for my asthma and something for my allergies, and all of that together I'm sure did something in my brain. But all through high school and part of college, I don't remember. I remember maybe 1 or 2 very fuzzy things from that period of time, which is why, fortunately, I have my elephant, my wonderful elephant, my walking yearbook, my best friend, Sarah, who's the inspiration for me going ahead and doing this. But she remembers things and she tells me things. And this is one of the reasons that I want to do, I'm going to call it a series at this point. I would like to do a series on my illness and the manifestation that I experience, which is different for everyone. Everyone's manifestations are different. This is just mine. But if my bestie from high school can tell me, what I looked like to her and what she tried to do to calm me down or cheer me up, whatever the case may be, usually it was calm me down. Whether it be bribing me with a cookie to shut up so people could listen, or whether it was giving me a hug and telling me life is going to be okay. She did it, and she's continued to do it ever since. We've been friends for literally half of our lives at this point. And she's been my rock. God. So I would like to try and return the favor to others who might be struggling with a mental illness but don't know what the words are, don't have the terminology for it, don't have a way of getting a hold of the information that they might need in order to go to someone who can help them and say, look, I'm having a manic episode where I experience X, Y, or Z, and just be able to explain to a psychiatrist, hopefully, who will hopefully also be able to help them with some type of therapy, whether it be just meditation, whether it be medication, whether it be a combination of holistic and Western medicine, whether it be strictly holistic medicine, whether it be no medicine whatsoever, but a holistic and Western approach of soothing the disorder to making things baseline again, not having such major shifts in mood. Hopefully, if there's someone who can do what my bestie did for me and sit down, explain, look, this is what you look like, this is what you're telling me, this is what I'm seeing, maybe you should try and think about getting some help. This is clearly, interacting with your ability to function every day and your ability to focus and your ability to interact as a person with other people. This is clearly hindering your life. Maybe you should find someone that can help you. If that person doesn't have the vocabulary for what's going on in their brain, their friend happens to watch a video of mine or a video of someone else, hopefully someone will be able to give them the correct information so they can go to, hopefully, a psychiatrist, hopefully, who can help them and say, I'm having these symptoms, I think I need some help. That's what my goal is. I want to be very upfront and honest, whatever emotional state I'm in. I want to be very upfront and honest about my journey, and I've explained where I started. It lasted throughout my high school years. I was 18. I was tired of being on the medication, and so I quit cold turkey. Was being just profusely worsened as a result of me being on the incorrect medication and abusing the incorrect medication. My moods leveled out for a little while, but then they started again. Fortunately, I was able to get to the correct person because someone else recognized the symptoms in my disorder, recognized something in themselves that they also had, and was able to get me to the right person. Hopefully whoever sees this doesn't have a mental illness. My whole goal in this is to speak to those who do not have a mental illness. If you do, I'm so sorry. I commiserate. But I hope that sharing my information, sharing my journey, being open and honest and forthcoming about my struggles, my daily struggles, and if you would like to learn more about mine or just have a general interest in abnormal psychology, what's helped me, what's been my main sources of therapy. Hopefully this reaches an audience that it needs to reach. Hopefully it's not necessarily a niche market, but hopefully whatever niche that is, it does fill or is a brick in the wall that can be taken down of the stigma around mental illness and just the smoke and mirrors, the mystery of mental illness. Just make it normal, normalize it. I just want to make it normal. I just want to make it a thing that some people have, and it doesn't make them any less of a person, doesn't make them any less likely to do something or more likely to do something. So that's the conclusion to video number 2. I will speak more in the next video, and I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I'll figure it out. Okay, peace.